Our Father in heaven, we come before thee with gratitude in our hearts for all of the many blessings that thou hast given us. We thank thee for the opportunity we have to live in this city and to be surrounded by good people. We thank thee for the opportunity to serve, and we ask that thou would please bless our efforts, help us to have the courage and conviction to stand up for what is true and what is right. Please bless that we'll be able to listen to the things that are presented tonight and be able to make decisions based on wisdom and truth. We are so very grateful for the sacrifices that have been made to provide the freedoms and blessings that we enjoy, and we ask that thou please help us to always strive to live worthy of those sacrifices. Please help us to have eyes to see and ears to hear and hearts to feel after the needs of those around us. We ask that thou would please bless our country, our world, our city, that the division can be healed. We ask that thou would be with us throughout this night, throughout this meeting, and as we return home. Please bless those in attendance that they can feel listened to and understood. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Prince and Commissioner Severing. Now on to our consent items. We'll now go over the minutes from last meeting on December 11th and entertain a motion for approval if no corrections need to be made.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes for December 11th, 2025.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Prince to approve the minutes and a second from Commissioner Bates. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes. Now on to our first action items. The first action item is a recommendation for a sidewalk waiver for the Standing Park subdivision. We'll turn some time over to staff to give us an overview of what they are asking for in that subdivision.
All right. We've had a submission for the Standing Park subdivision. And this is the part of the construction drawing the plat looks like. We have ordinance that provides the ability to have a sidewalk waiver that's been put in the packet, and staff's communicated and thinks that this is a good use of that ordinance. We feel like this subdivision fits our general plan really well, and the applicant's been really good to work with that general plan within the ordinances and what we've placed. And to specify though, we had a first review of this as part of our TRC, and we see sidewalks shown here on the south side of Jesse Lane, on the east side of 6450 West. Our engineer, as part of our TRC, specified that he'd like to see sidewalk on both sides of 6450 West and waive it simply on the north side of Jesse Lane. And so that would be staff's recommendation and what we've recommended or asked the applicant to do. But we wanted to get this waiver here early in the process. We see it's not a lot of lots, so we wanted to make sure that we knew where this was at to get the recommendation and get the authorization or the decision from the council so that this applicant could know where they're at as they continue to go through the subdivision process. So if you have any questions, let me know. And the applicant's also here as well if you have any questions. So
Yeah, if we could have the applicant come forward and members of the commission can ask any questions that they have for the applicant in that regard. Thank you. All right, we'll bring it back up to commission for discussion and motion.
So I didn't hear anything of what was just said, so if somebody can give me a quick recap, that'd be awesome.
So Sheldon, he mentioned that he was hoping for a waiver on both sides or the other side of 6450 as well, instead of having to sidewalk both. And the waiver on the north side of the Jesse Lane. So that's the only place that he had difference from what staff recommended for the safety, to have both 6450, both sides of 6450 west sidewalked.
Malcolm, I have a question for you. I don't know if this was even relevant, but it was mentioned that there's the irrigation ditch that is the Perkins irrigation ditch that kind of abuts this area. Would there be any issues that could be caused to them by putting in a sidewalk, not putting in a sidewalk? Were they made aware? I know we send out notifications, but I didn't know with as far as this issue, if there's anything we need to find out from them to make sure we're not causing any issues.
A good question. Like you meant, you say we're early in the process on this. There'll likely be a public hearing that you guys have asked for, probably before the second review, or within it. So we'll be early in that process. So we'll be able to hear through the water conveyance, but we haven't heard of any issues. And I don't know, I can't really contemplate problems with the sidewalk there or without. In some ways, without might be better from that standpoint, but I don't know. Is Mr. Perkins, you said it's on the north, right? On the north of that. Yeah, and that ditch would likely, it's an open ditch, so it's an open ditch, right, David? So it's gonna remain, so might be better to, from that standpoint, to not have a sidewalk near it, so.
Any other discussion? I'll entertain a motion for recommendation.
Okay, I will motion that we make a recommendation for the approval of the sidewalk waiver for the Standing Park subdivision.
I'll second.
Do we want to recommend on what side? Or
That's on the north side of the development, correct? So,
have a motion by Commissioner Prince and a second by Commissioner Whittison. Sorry. Sorry, Bryce. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll now turn the time over. We're now heading to our citizen comment portion of the meeting. If you are coming up to comment, if you just state your name and that you're a resident. Oh, sorry. Thank you. We have one more discussion, a motion for an extension of a developer agreement for the H.L. Parker Legacy subdivision at 5900 South and 5900 West. I'll turn some time over to staff for some updated information on this.
Looks like the applicant wasn't able to make it in person or the Zoom for this one. So I'll just kind of express to you where we're at. We talked about it in work meeting, but just to rehash for this meeting's sake, this one was originally signed in 2021, I believe, or 2019 on your. Yeah. So we've had multiple extensions. Our most recent one was just through October, and we passed that by a few months, so we needed to get it current. The subdivision has made good progress in the 6-month extension. Staff thought we should do a year just to give ample time to get this project done, and that was our recommendation. So if there are any questions, let me know.
Since the applicant is not here, I'll bring it up to commission for discussion and motion.
I think
Can
we
you
had a
guys
pretty
remind
good.
me,
Oh, sorry. Go
yes,
ahead, Sheldon.
does the escrow amount or whatever need to be looked at again because prices have changed, or the city staff totally okay with where it's at now?
We talked about that a little bit in the work meeting because that was a concern I had as well. But I think from what Malcolm said, we should have sufficient in there. I think he mentioned we had around 80,000. And I believe everything, the only thing they have left to do is the fence. Is that correct? And fill. So I think staff felt like it was adequate from what I understood.
Perfect. Thank you.
I want to kind of reiterate my concern for the neighboring property owners as well. I mean, Planning Commission's given this gentleman several extensions, and there's a lot of homes right across the street. I drove out to that neighborhood and looked at it. And, with another extension, all that raw dirt sitting out there, they're going to end up with a ton of that in their yards. And I don't know if that's necessarily fair to them. But I think we're kind of stuck here because what do we do? But I wish the property owner were here so we could get a little bit of a better feel of where he's at and when he projects he's really going to be done. So I don't know. I'm a little concerned as all the extensions we keep giving, but other than checking on the escrow, there's nothing really behind any of the extensions that we keep getting out there. So realistically, Malcolm, he's thinking how long?
He told me he would be done by April 15th, but that would be, 6 months is the typical extensions we've been working with. So a few months, but we thought let's just extend it for a year, make sure we get there.
I agree with what you're saying, Travis. I think maybe if we make a motion to give him the extension for the year with the gentle recommendation that they try to get this complete as close to April 15th, which is their projected date, as possible. Because I do know several people that live over there that it's kind of been a headache. Just, it's been going on for a very long time. So I think that's a valid point.
So I guess a question for council, is there any way we can put any teeth behind this at all, or is it just kind of an arbitrary date that we're setting at this point?
Work meeting was kind of on point with that. I think I've given that. I don't want to give too much of my legal advice there, but they're pretty much entitled to the development that they're getting. There are some things in the development agreement that we're getting based on timeframes, as I kind of discussed that further with Malcolm. So I think if we do something, it would just extend the time even further to develop. Potentially there could be processes of getting some of the funds, and anyways, it would be a process that I would have to look into, but
Well, I think we know we can't do anything about it on this one, but I guess what I'm thinking Travis is saying is, what about future, when we enter these agreements with future developers, is there a way to modify the agreement then? So I think that's more of the question at this point.
and that is something that I was just talking with Malcolm about, and I will continue to have that conversation.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, and one thing that we did change when we redid our subdivision ordinance, we put in language where when a development agreement expires, the vesting expires with it. And so if ordinances change or are updated after the point that they've made that development agreement, that kind of pushes them a little bit to make sure that they finish in time, because if not, things could have changed and that may make things more difficult for them. And I think in our current development or the agreement that they sign, yes, they are entitled to their development, but it still does state in there that the extension has to be approved by the city. So we don't have to just do it. I don't think if there's not a reason to, if there was a reason not to, I guess. But in this case, I don't think it would be a detriment to the city to approve it. But I think it is sending maybe not the best message to those people that live over there that we continue to extend this and there's no no urgency on the developer's part to get it done is what it comes across as, I think.
So if we're going to expand, if we're going to give this to them, it would be from the date it expired, correct? It wouldn't be a year from today. It would be from a year from the date their previous expired. And what date did it expire? October. Okay, so it would be from October 16th till of 2027. No, of 2026 to be done. Okay. So if there's no more discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we extend the development agreement with H.L. Parker Legacy located at 5900 South, 5900 West, for the term of 1 year from expiration of their previous agreement. So this would expire October 15th of 2026.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Bates to extend the agreement for 1 year from their expiration of their previous agreement, and a second from Commissioner Greener. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll now go into our citizen comment section of the meeting. Residents will be allotted 3 minutes to express any concerns. Just note that we will not be able to take any action on those or vote on those concerns expressed. We just ask you to be respectful of your 3-minute time frame. So at this time, we'll open our meeting to citizen comment. If there are any that like to, please step forward to the mic, state your name and that you're a resident of Hooper City. Seeing no citizen comment, we'll close citizen comment and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion to adjourn from Commissioner Widdowson and a second from Commissioner Severing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.